As the Russian presidential jet sliced through the African skies, a golden canvas unfurled beneath. Burkina Faso, bathed in the amber kiss of a setting sun. From a small oval window, Captain Ibrahim Traoré peered down. The land whispered to him, a patchwork of scorched earth and emerald breath, where ancient winds sang lullabies only warriors could understand. Mountains loomed like old guardians watching in blue silence, and the city stretched out like a patient drum, waiting to be struck. The aircraft, proud and heavy with purpose, groaned as it kissed the runway at Ouagadougou. Engines sighed, dust rose, time held its breath. Two walls of men, Russian commandos and Burkinabe guards, stood like iron bookends, and between them walked the man the world had tried and failed to erase, Captain Ibrahim Traoré. But fate always flutters where it's least expected. Just as his polished boot reached the door of his armored car, his eyes, those eyes sharpened by 20 near-deaths and endless deceit, caught a glint. Not of gold, not of a weapon, but of something stranger. A janitor. Mopping with rhythm, dressed in blue overalls, yet something rang false. Traoré paused like a lion catching a scent. The winds tried to hide. He turned and called the man over. "Quel est ton nom?" he asked, calm as still water, yet firm as mountain root. The man stuttered, "Hello, Captain. My name is Abdel." But the truth shivered beneath his tongue. And then Traoré saw it. Combat boots, dusty and worn, peeked beneath the cloth of the worker's disguise. A soldier masquerading as a servant. The guards surged forward at his command. The overalls were ripped away. And there it was. A Burkinabe uniform wrapped in the coward's veil. "Mais qui es-tu?" His voice like thunder rolling over dry land. "Who are you? What division? Who sent you?" The man's mouth moved, but his eyes betrayed him. Traoré didn't need confessions. He had learned to read fear in men's pupils. This was no worker. This was no coincidence. This was a shadow sent to extinguish the sun. Explosives, hidden cameras, a heart filled with foreign coin. An African man hired to kill an African hope. A few weeks ago, at the high table of global affairs beneath the cold gaze of polished brass and diplomatic pride, General Michael Langley, the U.S. African Command Chief, leaned into his microphone with practiced restraint. His words, clipped and clinical, echoed across the chamber like a distant drumbeat of accusation. Intelligence suggests that Captain Ibrahim Traoré is diverting Burkina Faso's gold, not for the benefit of the people, but to strengthen his grip on power. We must question his legitimacy and the trajectory of his regime. The room grew tense. Pens scratched paper, eyes narrowed behind glass lenses. It was a statement wrapped in diplomacy, but laced with a venom that stung the truth. A few days later, beneath the winter sky of Moscow, Traoré responded, not with rage, but with the quiet thunder of dignity. In a televised interview, flanked by flags and fire in his eyes, he spoke in calm defiance, every word weighed with ancestral strength. "If I use gold to protect my people, is that a crime? That gold belongs to Burkina Faso, not Washington, not Paris. Not 1 ounce of it should be measured against the ambitions of empires." He leaned forward slightly, voice steady as iron rain. "General Langley must come forward and tell the world the truth, or apologize for dressing lies in the uniform of authority. Africa is not a playground, and I am not your puppet." General Langley should look long and hard into the mirror, not just at the stars on his shoulders, but at the reflection staring back. For what stares at him is a black man being used to extinguish the African dream. This is the tragedy wrapped in a uniform, a brother made to betray the struggle of his own. Fast forward, at the Ouagadougou Airport, Captain Ibrahim Traoré returns to the motherland. The red dust of Burkina Faso kisses the wheels of his plane. But what awaits him on the tarmac is not just the sun or celebration. He is greeted by yet another African soldier, cloaked not in patriotism but in pretense. A man working for the same imperial hand, another black skin, pushing the agenda of those who never loved this soil. And suddenly the ache returned, the same ache that has haunted every leader who dared to stand tall. The ache of betrayal, not by strangers, but by brothers turned into pawns. Traoré didn't scream. He didn't strike. Instead, he stood in silence, as if weighing centuries of colonial scars in his chest and feeling the pulse of his ancestors' pain beat once more in his ribcage. "Let him speak," he finally whispered. And oh, the man did speak. With tears saltier than guilt, he confessed a garden of thorns, that enemies had planted seeds in every fertile place, in the schools where children dream, in the clinics where the sick find hope, in the soil where the farmers feed the future. They had burrowed into NGOs, ministries, and uniforms, ghosts in plain sight, all for one mission, to make Traoré fall. But he did not fall. Instead, he rose. He and his soldiers, like a storm baptized in truth, swept the land clean, exposing the spiders in the web, burning the lice, blessing the roots. A silent purge, not of vengeance, but of healing, of reclamation. And the spy. Oh, the spy. He was spared. For in his weakness he gave them strength. He was placed under guarded grace in a home with warmth and walls. No dungeon, no bullet, no revenge. Just the echo of the question, why must the black hand strike the black heart? Traoré, the lion with fire in his bones, knows now more than ever. The war is not always with bullets, but with truths, with spirits, with love for the soil that birthed you. He walks on, head high, soul weary, but heart unbroken. For the gold of Burkina is not in her mines. It is in the fire of men like him, who refuse to be bought, who refuse to be broken. And though the world may plot his end, Captain Ibrahim Traoré walks still, through dust, through danger, through the drums of destiny, toward a dawn that cannot be denied. In an age of puppets, one voice refused the strings. In a world of whispers, one man chose thunder. This is the story of Captain Ibrahim Traoré, the gold, the betrayal, the rise.